Hey all, my name's Jason, and I'm just waking up, getting ready to make my fresh organic eggs that I have every day. But I bought some of these new pans. I've seen a lot of information on these. You've seen them on the TV, the Green or Greenix kitchenware ceramic non-stick frying pans. Lifetime warranty, and supposedly it allows you to cook without any oil or grease. So especially when I'm making my eggs in the morning, I like to take them, flip them around. And I know that these pans slide really well. So I figured I'd just do a short little video to show you how to season the pan in case you weren't familiar with how to do that. I'm not going to say these are the best, healthiest pans in the world. I've done a lot of research when it comes to Gershon and other specific diets. And I've actually read that you want all stainless steel pans. The problem there is you can't flip your eggs. So I probably will use stainless steel for some of my other stuff. But for eggs, I'm going to stick with this at least for now. And they are no POFAs, which is the thing that a lot of people are worried about getting into the food. When you open up the package, on the back of the package right here, it says for best performance before you start, how to season the pan. So it's got a slightly different technique there than I actually used. It says to heat first oil up your pan and then heat it in the oven. I've done a lot of research online, and you can do just as good if you just use the top of your stove. I even watched some research about how professional cooks season their woks. So I feel pretty confident that this method alone will work. So it says right off the back to use a light coating of vegetable oil over the entire green surface of the pan. That's great. In my house, I don't use any vegetable oil. Actually, rarely, if ever, use coconut oil. I only use natural grass-fed ghee, which is natural butter, or coconut oil. So I just took a big chunk of coconut oil here. Go ahead and spread it around the pan, especially where you see these bolts in the pan. Go ahead and light this burner up and leave it on your highest setting, because it's okay to do this as quick as possible. Man, if you're not cooking with coconut oil, make that switch. It tastes great, it's better for you. Vegetable oil, I think the entire vegetable crop in the US has been contaminated somewhat with genetically engineered seeds from Monsanto and everything else. And they put in all kinds of other ingredients to keep the shelf life there. So I really don't trust the vegetable oil. Olive oil is a great cooking source, but at certain temperatures, the smoke from the olive oil is toxic. So olive oil is only good beneath certain temperatures. In fact, if you read any, excuse me, if you read any documentation for a wok, it says do not use olive oil because it heats too high. So they recommend soft flour oil or something else there. All I'm doing here, spreading the oil around, heating that pan way up, and the directions say now to keep that heating until you actually see some smoke coming up out of the pan. These handles are designed not to get too hot, but for this purpose we're heating this pan way up, and that handle may get a little bit too hot. So just at Walmart, same time, I got some little oven mitts here. It's a real simple process, but when you see the directions on the back of the pan, you're like, oh my god, directions, confusion. There's a little steamy vapor going on there. So as soon as I move that oil around in some of the pan parts that didn't have the oil in it especially, you see that oil coming out. And now just take this pan and let it sit to cool. Go ahead and wipe out that pan from any excess oil. So this particular pan says you don't need oil when you cook. So while we're here, while we got everything ready, let's just go ahead and make my eggs. I'll grab 3 eggs. And I'm kind of excited about these pasture raised eggs by Vital Farms. Big difference between pasture raised and cage free. Cage free just means they let the birds out of the cage, but they might be crammed this close together in the same sort of hen houses. When you go to pasture raised, these means that they're actually chickens walking around, get to do their thing, or at least some space to do that. In fact, just for comparison, I have here some Wegmans organic cage free eggs. These eggs, you know, are organic, so a little bit better for you, but these chickens don't necessarily get to move around. They're just not raised in a cage. If I take one organic egg, there is the organic egg, and see how it's really a dark, deep yellow? That, I think, is a warning sign. So now I'm going to take one of the pasture raised eggs, and the result here isn't quite as dramatic as I've seen with some of the others. In fact, I always make 3 eggs in the morning, so I'll just go ahead and do another pasture raised for you. Some people are going to say, Jason, you're crazy. I don't see any difference. Well, believe me, trust me, there is. Now, the difference here is you notice like a more diluted and orangish color in the pasture-free eggs than the organic. So when I fry up my eggs every morning, I just go ahead and do the eggs right there. I like to break the yolks. I bet you guys can tell me this. I was on a cruise recently going around, and they kept saying, well, how do you want these eggs made? And I'm like, well, it's just fried with the yolks broken. Like, apparently that's not one of the options. So I don't know if this is over easy, fried. You know, if you're a chef, please tell me how I describe these eggs, because I get them wherever I go, and a lot of times I don't know how to order them. Stick with your pasture raised, people. They're better for you. So it's my understanding best to cook eggs here on a little bit lower heat. This is supposedly the trick with these pans, is it doesn't, now, you know, once you have it seasoned with oil of your choice, you don't ever have to use oil for the pan. And that's kind of hard to believe, right? You're like, what? No oil ever? I kind of don't believe that. The typical one you see on TV is just the 10-inch. Also at Walmart there, they had the 12-inch. Perhaps for the 3 eggs or 3-egg omelet, you might want to go up to the 12-inch. But this is pretty remarkable here. I just put 3 eggs in. You notice no oil. Of course, I did season the pan. You saw me do that as well. But no other oil in this. And this is sliding around nicely. So, you know, it's just gonna save you extra calories, extra cholesterol if you're not having to add oil. Well, that's pretty good. So go ahead and try to flip it. I have another video on my channel about how I try to flip my eggs every morning, and it just scares you a little bit, but it's embracing those fears because you never know when you're gonna have to clean up. And this is a new pan, so I don't know, but let's give it a try. Ah, pretty good. Takes a minute or two on the one side. As soon as you flip that egg over, you know, just a couple seconds and you're done. And then, yeah, this is pretty remarkable, like no stick whatsoever. All right, try again. Those eggs are all cooked, ready to go. I can just throw that on the pan, and that pan is fairly clean yet, so not much that you're gonna have to wash up there. So I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like it's working pretty well. Just some of my tips for what I do every day: how to season the pan, how the pan works, a little bit about flipping. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it is, please subscribe to the channel down below, and that way you'll get updates whenever I do another new helpful video like this. All right, have a good day. Cheers.